My name's Jason Jarrett. I'm an exercise scientist and an exercise physiologist. Every injury is unique and every fitness goal is unique. Work with me and you'll get the professional direction you need with your situation. Welcome to another episode of MethodWorks Physiology with yours truly. So today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about motivation. In my experience, this is something that most people are struggling with in some form or another. So it's one thing to want to program, and of course that's quite common, and that's what I can do. It's another thing to need the technique. Those things are actually pretty easy. I can take you through those things, but something that's really hard for most people is motivation. And what I hear all the time is, I don't mind once I'm at the gym and I'm training hard, it feels good, I'm fine with that, but it's just motivating myself to get to the gym. Like, how do I wake up early and not hit the snooze button? Or how do I get that workout in before I go home? So it's a little bit of a psychological and a mental battle. Now, there is a strategy I like to use. I use it for myself and I've used it with successful clients, and it's about starting the day right. So this strategy involves looking at, I won't call them goals, but it's more like what you want to achieve. So now they can be fairly generic. I've got ones for my business, and just to let you know, that's something like, I'm successful, I get my clients' results, so you're in there, I get my clients' results, I'm happy and healthy. I've got basically 4 philosophies I try to live my life by, and I look at them every morning before I see my first client. I look at my vision, my philosophy, my life approach every morning, and being healthy is one of them. And you can further break that down. So it might sound, a bit weird or a little bit simple, but you'd be surprised how starting your day by looking at your values, I guess is what they are, by looking at your values is starting the day right. So it's really important that you're looking at those values and deciding how you want that day to unfold. Now, it can be a bit of a struggle, of course, because a lot of days you might wake up early and think, just hit snooze, I haven't got time for my values or my journal or whatever it is I'm doing. I've just got to go straight to work, I don't have time. Well, yeah, the problem with this sort of thing is all you need, the problem is that it's something you just have to prioritize. But the upside is it only takes 5 minutes. Come on, you can do 5 minutes. I can do 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you something. So you might have seen me wave this around before. So I'm going to make these videos very personal, because I don't just want to be a talking head. There's lots of those around. I want you to know who I am, that I'm doing what I preach. I practice what I preach. This is a little journal booklet that I bought while I was in Chile, in the San Pedro Desert last year. So it's already got a lot of happy memories associated with it. Every time I get out, I just feel happy. So what we've got in here, I've got my life values in the front. I look at those every morning, in addition to writing out a gratitude journal. It puts me in a happy mindset, and I will share with you that I have health goals as well, of course. It's not I wouldn't say it's difficult to stay in shape and healthy, but it's it can be an ongoing, it's an ongoing lifestyle habit that you need to get into the habit of. So I've broken each of my vision and philosophies down, and I think that's kind of essential. So there's that. Now, there's a workbook activity. That's another thing I will be mentioning in a future video. The workbook's out. It's out. So I'm about to head to Officeworks to pick up 5 copies. They're not cheap. Oh my God, they're quite expensive to print out. I won't lie. But you guys are worth the investment. So it cost me $15 per booklet. They're not huge booklets, but I wanted them in color. And the value of the booklet is worth way more than $15 for each of my clients. I'm going to print one out for all of my clients. I'm not asking for anything for it. I already charge for my service. I feel like this is something you all deserve, and I want the best for you. Please, this booklet, I've put in a lot of effort, pulled together a lot of things from over the years, culled it down, cut things out, put things in. I've gone through it a lot, and this booklet should give you a ton of value. So please, when I give you this booklet, bring it in every session, use it, and it's going to have tons of it has tons of activities in there. It's all color coded and color coordinated. We cover psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, nutrition, exercise programming, all of that stuff and more. We've got lifestyle graphs where you can graph where you sit on a chart. All of this really useful content. You're gonna go on a journey of self-discovery, right? So that sounds quite poetic, doesn't it? But sorry, I shouldn't blow into the microphone. It sounds a bit poetic, but it's true. So, and I apologize if I'm a little bit delirious. There's been long days lately, but it's good. So yes, just bear with me for a moment. I've got some notes because I like to cover everything for you guys. I like to be prepared. So, where are we? Starting your day right. Now, I think another useful thing is to immerse yourself in the content. So it's good to have your weekly appointment with me. That's going to help. It's good that it's amazing that you've now got a workbook. It's fantastic that you're watching the video, because I'm going to ask. And if I hear complaints from people who haven't watched the video, guess what I'm going to say? Go watch the videos. Because that's the first step. First requirement is that you're watching these videos so I don't have to talk as much. See how I'm losing my voice? See, guys, I love you. God, I'm losing my voice because I've been talking all day. It's what I do. You wouldn't think an introvert would be talking so much, but I am, and I have, and I do. There you go. So please help me save my voice and watch the videos, because if you have any issues and I say, oh, I made a video about that. I made a video. You've watched it, right? Oh, you haven't. Get out there and watch it. I can talk in my sessions, but what would you rather we do together? We exercise and we do the stuff, we do the thing, right? I'm using my words today. You do the thing. So, oh, the delirium. So we can do the stuff in the session, or we can talk. Usually I'll do both, but if you watch the videos and you read the workbook and you do the workbook, I don't have to talk as much. So yeah, that's all. I'm banging on a bit about that, I know. But so what was my point there? There's an exercise for the daily motivation, which is what I was just talking about with this little guy. There's a upside down. See, it's a pretty front cover over here. So there's an exercise in the booklet for motivation. But on top of that, I think it's really important, regardless of what you're doing with me, with the booklet, YouTube videos, as long as you're doing all that, one more thing I think will help. Just immerse yourself in the content. Now, the moment you start, that could just be listening to, I like TED Talks, YouTube videos. If you're suffering from motivation, just on the way to work or wherever, listen to TED Talks about motivation. There's hundreds of them, really. It's their main topic, I think. So just type in YouTube, TED Talks. I'll put a link here somewhere. Can I do that? TED Talks. Wait, this side, that side. TED Talks motivation. Just type in TED Talks motivation and listen. And the more you're just immersing yourself in it, you'll just become more motivated. It's weird. It's like you're just programming yourself subconsciously. You can do the same thing with anything. If you're struggling with your diet and nutrition, sure, do the workbook exercise I've put in there. It's an amazing exercise. But also, again, just go YouTube. You type YouTube, nutrition, diets, research it. Just do some research, immerse yourself in the content somehow. Whatever the topic is that you're struggling to motivate yourself around, immerse yourself. It doesn't have to be active immersion. You don't have to read about it. You don't have to talk about it. It probably helps, but as long as you're listening, that's what I like to do. It always works. On the topic of motivation, I'm not always motivated to work out. I am very busy and I still get time to do these videos. This video series is in my calendar and my visualization strategy. So I get it done. It'd be so easy to say, I'm too busy. Come back, Jason, come back. So I was talking about exercise. I'm very busy. I work in a gym. That's a good thing. I'm right next to the equipment, but still you'd be surprised how easy it is to just be like, oh no, I've got to go to the clinic, I've got to go meet up with this GP or whatever I've got to do, go home, have a sleep. That's a good one. It's really easy to do that even if you work in a gym, trust me. So what I do and what you could do is write down, I work out, lift weights, exercise, whatever, 4 times a week. And it helps if you be specific with this strategy. So I lift weights 4 times a week, and then you could go that step further of saying I do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday mornings. Be even more specific, say 7 a.m. Monday, 7 Wednesday. So put the time in there, but where are you going to do it? This might seem obvious, but if you're a member of Anytime Fitness, you can go to any of the anytime. So that was corny. So which Anytime Fitness? Well, let's assume St Kilda. Okay, so you can, all right, so St Kilda, Anytime Fitness, 7 a.m. Monday. Are you going to go with someone? You could write that down too. Now, writing it down, booking it in, planning it is one thing, but visualize it. This is the bit with the motivation that it's really powerful. You don't have to hype yourself up or anything. In fact, you might feel very low energy, and you might even be like, I don't want to look at my visualizations today. But just open your book. Sometimes I do this, guys. I think I did it yesterday. I just felt flat, even after a double strength coffee. I was flat. But yesterday morning, I did it. I just opened it up. I felt flat. I was like, okay, I'm successful. This is my internal monologue, right? I'm happy. But the main thing is visualize the thing. If I'm reading, one of my things is I'm successful. What does success look like in that world, in my world? What is success? Different thing to me as it is to you. Doesn't matter as long as you can visualize it. Just visualize what success is to you. For me, it's clients who are getting results, are loving the service that I provide to them, essentially. So that's the sort of thing. So as long as you can visualize your, whatever that success is, when it applies to exercise, for example. So if you're, another example, I'll move on soon. But another example is, if you wanted to lose weight, it's a common one. If you wanted to lose 5 kilos, what does that look like? Have you ever weighed 5 kilograms less than you are now? I imagine you probably have, because you usually can't get to that point without getting to that point. So a good strategy is to at least be able to visualize what you look like weighing 5 kilograms less. How many times have you done that so far? How many times, people come to me and say, a common one being, I want to lose weight, whether you've got an injury or whatever, I want to lose weight. It's like, okay, 5 kilos. When was the last time you imagined that picture in your head? Oh, like once a week, twice a week. This is what I usually hear, guys, when people tell me. I usually hear, it probably goes through my head once or twice a week. Not enough. And you have to be more interactive. Do your morning ritual. I weigh whatever kilograms. If we're going to focus on weight, for example, it could be anything. I weigh 65 kilograms. Visualize it. Visualize how amazing your life would look, how good you'll feel, how much energy you've got, what people will say when you look that great, how great you look in a bathing suit, how your self-esteem, how you'll be social and be able to approach people, and visualize it. The visualization of that happy fantasy, if you do it every morning, it will happen. It's that whole, I was never into the craze with the law of attraction stuff. I think it's a little bit pseudoscientific, but there's a certain truth to it. We create our reality. We first create in our imaginations, and then if you hold that in your mind, or at least do that every morning for 5 minutes, you'll get there. So how does this relate to motivation though? It's like, let me tie this in. I feel like I'm dragging this on a little bit. It's already been 15 minutes, but write it down. Okay, step 1, just write down what you want to achieve. Step 2, visualize it every morning. 5 minutes, visualize that fantasy. That's it. What happens after this is you don't have to force yourself to do the thing as much. It becomes more of an intrinsic motivation. That's all I can say, really. Give it a shot. Well, I can say a whole lot more. You know I can. You know I can talk. Okay, so that's one strategy. And I'd love to hear from people to see how they're going with that. Immerse yourself in the content, do the visualization strategy, start your day right. Excellent. Glad we're on the same page, guys. Next up, goals and barriers. So the visualization strategy is kind of goals. Why are goals and barriers important? You need to know what you're gravitating towards. You need to know what your problems are. For those of you who we did a 30-day back on track approach, will be familiar with this. So what are your barriers? Barriers are the things that stop you. We were just talking about motivation. So often what people say as a barrier, a common one is, I don't have enough time. That's not true. We all know that's not true. If you had 30 minutes anywhere in your day, you have time. The reality is you've got time. You're not too busy. It's just that 30 to 60 minutes that you do have, you want to relax a bit. You feel mentally exhausted, and that's okay. You feel mentally exhausted, you've got to spend it with the kids or the cat, in my case, or you want to do something you feel is relaxing. So it's not really about time per se, it's more about motivation. I get I'm too busy, I've just been a busy week, I get it. But it's not really that, is it? If we look deeper into it, it's more like, oh yeah, it was a busy week, but I felt knackered after work. Okay, now we've got something to work with. That's a different issue. We can work with that. Okay, goals and barriers. Now to finish off with, 2 more things. I already covered when you're setting a goal or doing a vision, what are you going to do? E.g. go to the gym 4 times. Where? E.g. Anytime Fitness, St Kilda. Who, when, how, that sort of stuff. Now, one really important thing, and we cover this in your initial consultation. I do it at the clinic. Guys, I do the same thing here as I do at the gym. It's a little bit of psychoanalysis because it's surprisingly a large part of what we do to help get you motivated and to get lifestyle change. So when you tell me you want to rehabilitate your back injury, or you want to lose 10 kilograms, or you need to address your blood sugar for your diabetes, or any of these things, that's not what I hear, because I know what the reality often is. So again, I'll use the weight loss example because it's a common one. Gentleman comes to me, I want to lose weight so I look better. That's not why you want to lose weight. Not really. There's a feeling and emotion underneath that. Whatever your goal is, there's an emotion, and we need to get to that emotion. If you want to lose weight to feel better, well, that's close. But the more I dig with clients, the more this is what happens. Oh, I want to lose weight to feel better. Okay, but why? Well, I'm very introverted, and if I feel better about myself, like it'll affect my self-esteem. Okay, yep, now we're getting somewhere. It'll affect your self-esteem. What does that mean though? So your self-esteem's better, but so what? Well, if my self-esteem's better, I'll be more confident talking to people. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's more of a feeling and an emotion, confidence. Okay, but so what? Why does that matter? Being confident and, oh, well, I guess I feel a bit lonely at the moment. Now we're getting somewhere. Feeling a bit lonely, that's a feeling I can work with. Why are you feeling lonely? Because doesn't have a partner, or maybe doesn't have very many friends because he doesn't know how to talk to people. Right, now we've got something to work with. Ask yourself why. Because the first response is never really the answer. An emotion, loneliness is an emotion. Desire to find a partner is, to address that loneliness. Or I'm not saying that's necessarily the right thing, by the way, but I get the emotion behind the goal. So when people come to me telling me their goal is to lose weight, to put on muscle, to compete in a marathon, to rehabilitate their injury or their post-surgical procedure, like we often get here. That's not their goal. Their goal is to feel great. The goal is to feel happy, to feel confident, to feel like they can take on the world. And that's what I do. And that's why I love my job, because my job is to empower people to have amazing lives and to get results.